So we'll move on to the politics section of the discussion. EFF spokesperson Mbuyiseni Ndlozi joined me in studio after the SONA debates, obviously to talk EFF policy and their stance. And he said to me...
They have a policy?
Wow. They do. They have a very
policy.
radical policy.
Right. I think... No. Okay, let's
talk about it. You said they have a policy, which means you didn't read it, which means you can't have an opinion.
No, I can.
No, you can't have an opinion
surprised
on something that you know nothing about.
No, I've read it, but I'm just surprised about their policy and how they behave. There's a difference.
All right, we'll get to it. But Mbuyiseni Ndlozi says, people who say that we're disrupting Parliament forget that nobody cared about Parliament before we were in there. All of a sudden, everybody's interested in what's happening in Parliament. Parliament's trending. And so he says, this is what they've done for Parliament. They've made South Africans interested in Parliament again. And I can't actually argue too much with that.
Have they showed the circulation figures on television with regards to this? It must have been the most popular SONA. Everyone tuned in. I was at work, couldn't work, went to the iPad and went to a certain live blogging.
Stream, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, at one moment I'll be right back. Oh my God, they just threw him out. It was from one, it was that, and everybody was on their phones and trying to go into live stream. Yeah. It's one of the most popular.
I went to politics and international relations class with Mbuyiseni. He's a very smart guy. Yeah, I was a Wits girl.
Me too.
Oh yeah. I went to Wits with him, and he's a very smart man. It ends there. And Floyd.
And he's gorgeous
too. My husband's hotter, sorry. He's a very smart man.
But of course that's irrelevant, right?
No, how do you know this? He's a very smart man. Floyd, yeah. No, Floyd has his honors. What did he get? Doctorate?
His master's.
That's why.
Political science.
Yes, look at him.
Yeah.
But look, my take on the EFF is that what happened in SONA was necessary. It was necessary in the fact that for 20 years in this country, we felt like, okay, black people are in power, we call the shots, stuff everyone else, So whatever questions that the DA or other oppositions are like, it's because you're white, nah. That's why you're doing this is because you're white and you don't have a tan and your hair's not curly. That's why you've got a problem with all of this. But now the EFF is coming in and saying, no, wait a minute, listen to us. EFF is relevant because they are standing up and saying, listen to us, this is what we have, this is what we don't have, this is what we want. And actually, we want you to be accountable. Julius Malema, I don't want to say empty vessels. That will be rude, and but yeah.
I think what they need is a good PR person. I think, as I said earlier, is that the EFF are saying and doing things that all of us want to. And you need people like that. And any, revolutionary change, and like they shook up Parliament. Fantastic, literally, figuratively. But let me just remind you that this is nothing new. 1 week later, after SONA, the same thing happened in Turkey. They had a physical fight in the Turkish parliament, hitting with chairs, etc.
It's like Jerry Springer.
It's something new. It's something new to us because Parliament.
No, but that's what I'm saying. This is what's so great about the EFF. It's shaking things up. Do you know what? Back of house staff, where I was working, was interested in Parliament, where every year before they weren't interested at all, because Parliament is all about posh and pomp and ceremony. And also, what is that about? Why the heck? That Julius is wearing an overall and that his party is, I am all for that. That's a workers' party. Why should we have the whole red carpet thing and taking photographs and what is this pomp? What is that about? Seriously, that has been coming along since.
When would I have seen Makhumalo in a wig? I'm not supporting this because there's no way in hell.
How much money is spent not only on the catering on that evening, but on the pomp and why the heck are we doing that? This is it's making a mockery of Parliament and opening and all of that. Please,
I wanted to see Makhumalo in a wig.
You want to see them dress up?
I wanted to see Makhumalo in a wig. I'm sorry. The thing is, no, we were not going to see.
And again, when you look at the next day or you look at the same evening as it's going on, what were they thinking? Who in your right mind, if you had a stylist or if you had a best friend, wouldn't you want them to say, that really doesn't work?
I don't think parliamentarians have best friends who tell them looking at the red stuff.
Period.
No, listen, I back to the EFF. The EFF is relevant, but I just think that the dirty laundry is slowly starting to come out
Right,
now.
we're seeing cracks in the EFF. But again, the EFF are saying, we're not seeing cracks in the party. No. We're seeing cracks in the individual.
Yeah. No,
But earlier, didn't you say that Zuma has a lot of dirt? So, and I think vice versa with him and Julius having been so close with Mbeki.
I was so happy.
I am
sorry.
sure they have so much dirt on each other. That is why Zuma had to go back to Parliament a week later and say,
I was so happy.
Sorry. And I'm sure that is personal. The two, it's like two best friends. You know, you're telling each other
Fighting
your
in public.
dirtiest secrets. We know it. I will never use it against you. I promise. But I always will have a couple of aces up my sleeve, and I think Julius pulled out an ace.
I wonder what he knows.
I think Julius.
I was so happy to see Thabo Mbeki at the State of the Nation. If that didn't happen, if there was no red carpet, that wasn't going to happen. So I was so happy. That's when I actually started. I was like, "What? He's here!" Yeah. Then it just went downhill from there. So no, but I honestly think that what they're doing is relevant, but it's just the way they're doing it. Because the thing is, you know...
Yeah, they need management, they need a consultant, they need, someone that can help steer them. I think Julius can be the voice because people listen to him. This is a man who, less than 8 months, managed to have a party up and running and get 7% of the electoral vote. That is phenomenal anyway.
That should be a record somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to double that figures in the next election. And if they're not careful, and that's what I'm saying, why not help shape him? Why not look at the constitution, get someone to go, you know what, you've got great points here, but this is a bit too controversial, and I think you need to tone down. And they need Olivia Pope. That's what he needs.
Sibu, is this a job you would take on? Would you take on the social media, personality, reputation management of the EFF?
Come on.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting. Look, they're brand-wise, they're doing things right, but it's just that they need tweaking here and there, and they need also a level of consistency. We can't be like, yes, Zuma must pay back the money, but how about you tell us more about your policies? Tell the person on the street who doesn't have money for the Sunday Times, who doesn't have a TV, who just has a radio. How about you engage with us on that this is what we're actually about. Yes, we do not agree with Zuma, and actually the EFF is in existence not just to challenge Zuma, but to challenge certain social ills, to challenge certain political ills, and most importantly to challenge certain economical ills, because you can't, I don't have a problem with Julius and his homeboy Floyd going to Louis Vuitton. No, seriously, going to Louis Vuitton, buying up a store, but you can't 5 minutes later in your 20,000 rand shoes like, no, we must, he must pay back the money, he must do that. And I honestly think Mbuyiseni is a perfect representative for that party. And this is not me trying to get the job to Olivia Pope them, but he's a perfect representative because he says, I'm a young black South African. Okay, I'll give him the good-looking points. I'm a young black South African. I'm good-looking. I'm well-educated. I'm opinionated, and actually, I'm going to challenge, the state. I'm going to challenge the president. I'm going to challenge our leaders on certain things that are affecting my life and the lives of ordinary South Africans.
We need them. We need more of that. But for me, what was telling also is that, as I said, it's the back of house staff that is starting to take more. It's the more lower ranks. In terms of people, not necessarily the intellectuals. And for me, two things that was very sad about this that stood out for me. Number one, first of all, I was live streaming. I had limited data, and I tweeted and I said, where can I tune into this on FM radio instead of using up all my data to tweet in on this? And then because I knew there were people in the townships that doesn't have whatever, and if they didn't have television, they should be on radio, and I think they must have been also SAFM or whichever. But there's a lot of people where these kind of discussions that we have, those are the people we should also be listening to. I swear to goodness, if I tell you how many people in the last 5 years of the lower ranks have decided they will no longer vote, they are totally disenchanted with the ANC, they've had enough. They've washed their hands off because of Zuma Just because he have disappointed them, there's nothing more he can offer them. In the last 20 years, their lives hasn't changed. In fact, they are so pissed off, their lives haven't improved at all. You know, it's all the same. Nothing has changed for them. For me and you, we're driving better cars. You've got a new car. You've moved from the one home to the other home. Your salary is up by 20%. We've benefited because we're in the intellectual position where we can talk our way up and impress other people that will give us the benefit for that. But people in the lower classes, nothing has changed. They're still staying in the township, and Zuma is still making promises that is not translating. I would just
like the EFF to balance their noise with their actions.
Yes. That's very well put.
If I would ask them to do one thing, is to balance their noise with their actions. You don't have to wait until, God forbid, Julius becomes president. Okay, let's say we don't have to wait until Mbuyiseni becomes president to see what their policies are. You know, if they are talking to the average South African on the street, let them start talking to them now. Let them start talking to the young child in Khayelitsha who is like, you know what, I'm just going to school for the hell of it because my mom won't afford varsity fees. You know, so they have to start having conversations, and that's how the liberation movement back in the day was started. They started with engaging with the young Juliuses. They started engaging with the young Floyds. So they must actually be consistent in that, and actually taking how they were groomed as politicians from a young age, and you know, sharing that knowledge with young kids, and also having, you know, meaningful activities. If they're all about economic empowerment, where are the grassroots economic seminars? Where are the, you know, funded or supported by the EFF? Why aren't they lobbying for, you know, there's a program that we're trying to start in my company where we as a CSI thing, where we groom retired women within the townships to make an income, whether it's through rubbing feet or whether it's to growing your own vegetables, so that you know that there's economic movement within the township. Why is the EFF not, you know, working on the economic emancipation of South Africans? Yes, Zuma's wrong. Yes, Zuma needs to do stuff, but where's the economic emancipation of ordinary South Africans coming in?
I think they've been so propelled so fast into the limelight, and I think they probably didn't expect the growth that they are experiencing at the moment, and they need a plan, and they really need someone to help put that into place. And so whether the development is still at grassroots level and all of that, that's part of the plan, which they don't yet have.
No, but the thing is, they came in running, they must carry on running.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's not
Julius didn't come on the picture just now the other day. He's been around for a long time, and people forget that.
He's been around since his teens.
I know,
and that's
he's
what I'm trying to say.
He's been consistent with his rhetoric all the way along. He has been, people just don't like him because he's abrasive and whatever. But you need someone like that. You need someone to be the voice and to tell someone else off.
Now, I have to cut in here because we don't have a lot of time left, but I wanted to touch on one more point, and that's the EFF weren't the only party to have left the National Assembly during the State of the Nation debate. The DA did too. And the DA...
And Bantu. Bantu's another pimp.
You like him?
Bantu's my political pimp.
In fact, he walked out before my money.
Exactly. Yeah, he's my political pimp too.
I'm going to keep that in mind. We'll come back to that next time. But I want to talk Maimane and Zille because obviously the DA are really trying to overhaul their image. They're not just a white people's party, they're trying to say, especially by putting Maimane at the helm. But I see that look. And
it's just my eyes. It's just my
eyes. The same thing. It's the light.
Something in your eyes.
Both of us at the same time.
Amazing. There must be something in the air. I want to talk about this because I have a 20-year-old brother at university in Johannesburg. And I was having this conversation with me, and he said none of his peers take Maimane seriously as somebody who understands them or as somebody who understands what any black person in the country really needs politically.
Is it because he has a white wife? No, I'm kidding.
No. Did you just say that? My thought fell into your mouth.
No, listen. I took Lindiwe seriously until she opened her mouth. You know, I'm sorry. That's my opinion. But it's like... what?
Okay, you have to say why.
No, because she looked good. She had a good tan. You know, she had some curves going. But she opened her mouth, and you're like, "This is Helen Zille with a tan." There's no opinion. There's no whisper. There's no, you know what? My parents were, you know, I struggled. I did this. I'm black. I'm proud, and I believe in this party because, you know, Lindiwe seemed scripted. my money seemed scripted. Did you see that meme of Helen Zille telling him to back off and stuff? So
I did. Not now.
Yeah, not now. You know, so it's like there are. Look, we can't blame people's hustles, but they are scripted. And I think the problem, and I could be wrong, but Lindiwe probably got tired of being a scripted black politician.
That was obvious. That
You
she
know?
was on her way out. There was no more.
Yeah, she was. You know, so
the
my
boss said stop.
my money
So she
also,
left.
he's trying to
He's
play
not
the
gonna last.
game. He's but he's trying to play the game to the best of his ability.
gonna
But the
lose
thing
him
is,
as well.
it's like, oh my guy, are you really black? Like, you know, should I fix the filter on my TV? Because it's like, you're talking about what? Oh, okay. And then his little speech, like giving Jacob Zuma a backhand. Yeah, but it was like, guy, if you grow up in Kailicha or Gugulet, you mean saying this crap.
But
He
he's
made good
adamant that
points.
he's
He made
a
good points.
son of Soweto.
But
He grew up in
sure, I
Soweto.
mean,
Not
that's
Soweto,
no,
Soweto. He's a yeah.
Oh, Soweto.
Yeah, Soweto.
No,
He's
but
a son of
listen,
Soweto.
listen, darling.
Right.
No. No, but listen, he could be real, but we don't know. But I don't think if anyone in their right mind, and considering the history with Lindiwe and whatever, it's like working for a company where you have a boss that you just can't get along. And it can only go on for so long. Because your voice look at the two of us in terms of highly opinionated. You know, you've been in that corporate world where you just can't get along with the boss, and either you're going to leave or he's going to make you leave.
You know what? I challenged my money to go to a Kailicha. That's the biggest township in Cape Town. And gather up a group of, you know, gogos, young people, and
without
tell
them being bussed in by
without them being bussed in a community.
You two are really in sync here. Hey?
in community halls, and explain what the DA policies are. If one person doesn't say, then he's in touch with black
people. But he
people.
must explain it in Xhosa.
He must explain it in Vanag. He must do it in Vanag, and he must be embracive. And because the thing is, he's when I think of Umaimani, it's like this private school boy, whether he went to private school or not. But it's like, yes, I'm black, but yeah, it's a convenience thing for me right now, so I'll just work with it.
But aren't you discriminating and being racist right now?
No, I'm not, because to a certain degree, to a certain degree, some people might view me as being that way, living in, you know, Little Mowbray with a little, you know, garden and a sun.
You're talking about him now.
No, but I'm just
talking
talking
the way you're talking about him seems very discriminatory.
No. I think he has a function, but it's just a scripted function. And unfortunately, because he's black, you are gonna look, you know, in details at how is he doing, what are his nuances. I haven't heard my money the voice. I've heard, again, as per Lindiwe.
He's a great script writer.
No, I'm saying as per Lindiwe, I'm hearing a scripted politician who actually has potential, because Lindiwe had potential. But it's just that now...
She had a great following. She had over 141,000 followers, I think.
Exactly. Now she's in the snow in Harvard. It's so sad. And riding
maybe she's going to make a triumphant re-entry into South African
bicycles. Country? It was like, Lindiwe girl, shame. No, maybe I'm hearing that the ANC is trying to woo her. I'm hearing that, yeah.
Wow.
So
how much can we trust her then if she goes over to the ANC? It's
girl, self-preservation, politics,
kiss of death.
It's no kissing of death. Politics, you must master the art of self-preservation. It's self-preservation. What's and in business as well. What's good for your career? What's good for your relevance within the country, because she has to have a game plan coming back. She can't be like working as the marketing manager at a retail store.
Again, I think in this...
Did you hear?
I heard.
She was like, peace.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
So basically, this is what happens. Mampela starts Akhang because she wants real change in South Africa. She stuffs around with Helen Zille, like, you know, a little bit on the side.
Hello.
It was the year for things on the side, her and Helen Zille. That doesn't work.
So you guys are trying to guys are trying to say that Ramphele was Helen Zille's Nyanzi.
I don't know.
So is she like the queen of all Nyans because she did the whole Steve Biko thing? Now she played a Helen. Okay, I hear you guys. No, continue.
So then she only gets 2 parliamentary seats and decides, look here, I'm out of here, and bounces, and leaves Akhang with crippling debt, while she gets
But is that her responsibility?
well, this is what I want you to tell me. So now she has a 3,000 rand
Massage.
mani-pedi at the one and only.
But that's from her
But
own money. Again,
I'm turning 30 on Wednesday, on Thursday.
She's doing
I'm getting that mani pedi. So
Okay.
big ups to you,
Okay,
gal.
you see
You know,
now,
I'm
going
not
to
judging.
I'm going to the Thai place on the corner here, 30 rand. But
No, but when the month is rough, you know, like birthdays are serious.
No,
So
that is my birthday. That's the good month at the Thai place.
We should
Otherwise,
talk
I do it
gal.
at home.
No, gal.
You need to get a job with old Mandela. But the thing is, should she be forking out her personal money
Yes.
for a khan? You say yes, you say no.
No, absolutely
Yes.
not. Look, that's
not
no, but this is exactly what we're talking about. The difference between my private life and my personal life. She declared her 55 million rand. She put in, I think, quite a bit of her own to get this party
That's what
going,
she says.
etc. Why should I have any more responsibility? Look, the kiss of death. She broke down. She retweeted and she said she cut her ties, etc., etc. The fact that the party cannot now sustain itself is not her. Well, in part, yes, her fault, but I don't think her responsibility to pay their debts, etc. There's a budget. The budget must be managed properly. It's like any business. If you don't run it well, you're going to run it into the ground. She's no longer the CEO or the manager of that company. It is no longer her responsibility. That is my opinion.
See what?
No, she dumped it in the lurch. There must be some sort of, level of personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
No, yeah, because she read it. Do you know how many lost comrades are there out there? Because I've got friends now who are actually kissing butts back to the ANC or trying to be revolutionary
Sure,
with
but
the
that's
EFF
the
because they joined the
politics.
Hang.
That's politics
They
for you.
joined the Hang and now it's like, what happened? So it's like she's just dropping everyone like a hot
No,
potato.
they impressed me as well. At the beginning, I thought, I have great respect for this woman. I have had, I'm not sure what I said there, but I had a lot of respect for her in the beginning. The ideals, the idea that this party could possibly work, etc., etc., because she was, but then you just saw it unraveling so fast and whatever. And the fact that she abandoned the party and that she is doing also what she's doing
But
now,
the
where
thing
is
is,
her morals now? Do I
she-
have the same respect for her now? No.
She treated
Much less now
the
than
whole
I used to.
exercise as a hobby.
It did seem like that.
It was
didn't
a hobby. It was
a
like
pet project.
What
Yeah.
can I do today? Oh, let's start a party, girls. And then she did that, and then it didn't work. It's like, yeah, well. So there wasn't a level of commitment. So I just think that those seats must be dissolved. Probably they should go to the EFF. That's
Probably will.
They probably will. But it's just it was too hobby-like for her, and she's got
Well,
this
it came
whole.
out of nowhere. After she came from the States, there was rumors, that she had come from a secret donor and whatever. So, whoever the backer was and whoever was whispering in her ear gave her this idea and says, we will push you and whatever. But the reality on the ground is completely
I wonder if that donor wants her
different.
to pay back the money, because I would
Pay
be
back the
really mad
money.
if I funded a Khang.
55 million. She still has 50 million
Yeah, it's
left.
true.
So,
It's true.
but
And
that's
she
only
did say
$5
she put
million.
a lot of her private money
She did.
into a Khang. So
So
perhaps
she's
she
got
needs
change.
to follow it through.
She's old. She's got change. I told you it's a hobby. She couldn't start knitting. She couldn't get a garden patch. Like, let me just fool a bunch of South Africans to follow
This
me.
is a medical doctor and an
Good
ex-vice chancellor. You can't call the woman to go. What did you just say? No, I mean, you're disparaging her. I thought you were a feminist.
No, but I'm saying that
This
it
is a
was a
woman
hobby.
that you must
This is
respect for where she's come from and what-
This is a personal thing. Is that she decided that she's got 5 minutes, she's got change. So I don't want to grow a garden patch. I'm in my 60s. What else can I do? Let me fool a couple of South Africans and let's do this. And then when I don't feel like it anymore, so she's.
But I don't think she started out that way. I think she might have started out thinking that it is a change
So
that
you
she
know,
could have
she-
made. But again, because she was so far, and this is, for me, fundamental, is that the higher you go, the more out of touch you are from where you come from. And this is exactly what happened to her. She's sitting way up there and she forgets that grassroots level people speak a different language to what you speak. You have to, that is why Zuma is so popular. That is why Julius Malema is so popular. Despite where they are, wearing Louis Vuitton, it doesn't matter. They speak street. Do you know what I mean? And it's the people that speak streets that votes for them. Intellectuals don't really care that, they call Julius an ignorant this, they call Zoom. You know what is so disgusting is these armchair comments that you look online when people say what they call Zuma and call them the most ugly
I
words
find
that you hear.
the thing is,
But if that was a white president, would they be saying the same things? No. No, they wouldn't say that, but they call this because it's a black president, he's ignorant, he's this, he's that, the other, because he doesn't speak well or he doesn't speak white.
I have a problem with having the black-white debate 21 years into democracy. But again,
we have to still
the
fact that we're not having it is a problem.
No. I have a problem with having it in the sense that, you know, people's actions and shouldn't be determined by the color of their skin. I almost committed a felony a couple of months ago at the pharmacy because
you almost committed a felony.
I almost got arrested. I was going to have a record because this lady was being rude. She parked incorrectly, so I went inside and I tapped her. Like, listen, you double parked and I need to park. And she turned around. She's like, is it because you're black you think you can come speak to me like that? And I was like, lady, I'm going to slap you, ne? And I won't be ashamed. But the thing is, I was like, the pharmacy next to police station, this is going to be a quick transaction. No, let me just And
I'm going to slap you not because you're white, but because you're rude.
You're being a rude person. And, you know, I find a majority of whites, especially when you look at the Facebook tweets and Facebook posts and the tweets, a lot of whites are so unpatriotic. And it's so sad because, you know, they're still here.
No, I think they're very patriotic.
No.
Don't get me. Yes, when you got World Cup, you've got all this nonsense. They're
when
all on this euphoric. They're on this euphoric wave, and Viva South Africa.
Selective patriotism.
Exactly. It's
selective patriotism.
Listen, as I said to you, that guy who screeched away with, you know, as I said, he was of a paler skill. He screeched away as the EFF came marching down because he was afraid. He was afraid that these black people is going to attack him. Nothing has changed. You know the comments I'm listening, I'm standing on the pavement, right? It's 21 years into democracy. You've got white, you've got black, you've got whatever. The comments that are coming from people standing on the pavement it's as bad as it was 25 years ago. Look at these people, they're a bunch of animals. And look how they're behaving. I mean, is this necessary? You know, and then you've got other people's, nothing has changed. The fact that you say that we shouldn't be talking about race 21, the fact that we're not talking about race in this country is a problem.
No, but I'm saying it because it shouldn't matter by now. Especially
it matters still
it
very
should
much.
Not.
Oh my
it
gosh.
should not.
21 you're right. You're absolutely right.
It should not.
I think this is one of our biggest problems. This is where we need to talk about race on the ground. The fact that the TRC stopped in 1994 or 1990 should never have stopped. You know, it's like people are just pushing everyone just pushed it under the...
It's a private matter. It's a family matter.
And then now the...
Family matter.
It's a family matter.
It's ridiculous. Look, if you were in the SANDF and I was a white commanding officer, I was your major general and you were a foot soldier and you were black. All of a sudden in 1994, maybe that changed, whatever the case may be and whatever, and now you've got a black general, major general, and you were... How I hated you yesterday. Do I just stop hating you today because apartheid is gone? Did I ever apologize to you for what we did? You know, the white privilege in South Africa that people don't want to apologize for that they benefited from apartheid. When I bring up this conversation with, if I bring up this conversation with white people, it makes them feel uncomfortable. But why? Why don't we want to talk about it? We don't talk about it. We should talk about it.
Absolutely.
White people don't want to admit that they benefited from apartheid. No, I had nothing to do with. Yes, you didn't, but you benefit from it. You did. But tell me you didn't benefit from the fact that you went to Camps Bay High School, had a swimming pool.
Hey, I'm tanned. I went to Camps Bay High School.
No, one second. What I'm saying, as a white person or as the person who had the privilege, you had a swimming pool, you had a tennis court. The person in Mount View High in Hanover Park didn't have all of that. You're going to become a swimming champion. Why are all the people that are swimming champions white and not black in this country? Because why can't black people swim? You know, black people's afraid of water because we didn't grow up with swimming pools. White people can swim. They are world champions just because they grew up with swimming pools in their backyard. You know what I mean? These are privileges that they had which they refuse to admit to. So,
Siba, I'm going to give you a closing quick thought because we've gone over time, but I really could sit and talk to you two forever. But a closing thought on this. Do we need to acknowledge white privilege and race more, despite the fact that we shouldn't have to 21 years later?
Look, being a businesswoman in the creative space, it is a conversation that's relevant. You know, there's still certain perceptions of how black people are, and especially owning my own business, I don't get proper creative work because I'm not, white enough, or I not white enough, but I don't understand the business side. I can just speak to, I get, engagements and activations and whatever within the township market because I'm black. And it's, there's a lot of...
So no one looking for BEE partners
No,
anymore.
no, people are looking for BEE partners, but now, as a BEE partner saying, no, actually, I want to participate, it's like, this one is too clever. This one,
yes,
this one is not. This one is not a entrepreneur. This one is too clever. You want to do what now? You want to work too much. No, girl. We give you the money. You just stand there, wave, and look pretty. If you want to have a voice, no. This is not our agree. And I've had a lot of.
I want you to speak, but not too loudly.
No, but you must speak to your people. So whenever there's like a parliament thing, or whenever there's a black business thing, like, oh, Sibu, can you please? So this is the problem that and this is why I left. This is why I left my previous job as a magazine editor, because I was a magazine editor of a business publication which was catering for black people, but it was owned by white people. And I was like, maar guys, can't I just get some Ekutanya? And I was like, no, you're going to be too smart. No, that's not going to work. So it's a conversation that needs to happen, but it's also how it happens. You have to fight the fight. I've been in business for 6 years. It's been the hardest 6 years of my life, but it's also been rewarding. But I have a problem with that. I don't get to work with the big brands. I get to sit in a little corner and because I also want to be a multi-billion rand media agency, or my company Dumile Brand Boutique wants to be that, but I can't do that because I'm put in this corner where I can't play with the big boys. But I become relevant when people want points. It's like, oh no, but that black girl, the smart one, Sibu, call her, she can come into this project. So I'm always put in as an accessory. And this is 21 years into democracy. I'm a black female trying to grow an agency, and I'm an accessory within our market. That is a problem. But also, I'm not going to start now hating all white people. It's also up to me, because the thing is, it demoralizes you as well, and it gets your esteem as an entrepreneur, that I'm supposed to be picking up the phones to your Joe Public and say, hey, how about we partner up on this?
It's hard.
It's hard because
to get partners and the right partners. That's why in terms of being a tour guide, it's exactly the same. All the businesses, major tour guide businesses, are being swallowed up. The Hilton Rosses are all still white-owned businesses. And if there are any black, I'm a tour guide that has to wait around for business or hope and pray that someone is going to call me tomorrow. We did a collaboration about 10 years ago. 6 small tour guides, let's say, do our company. We tried for a year to knock on the doors. We can't get in. The doors are locked to you. So now we just have to be working for the big boss still.
Yeah, and the thing is, and it's like with the industry, the communication and advertising and media industry, it's a multi-billion rand industry within the country. But what's happening now is that all the smart blacks are getting like the smart ones, the ones from Soweto.
You don't get smartphones, smart Blackberry,
the ones from Soweto, not Soweto. The ones from Soweto, they're the ones who get the executive jobs and whatever. And it's great that they're making a change internally, but what about the smart blacks who want to own their own? Because my thing is ownership. I can't build a legacy. I can't make my son have options in life. But actually, you know what, stuff this, I'll go ass around in the States, go to Europe, come home, my mom will have a job for me in her. I can't do that because 6 years later, quality of work, qualified staff, I still have a hand-to-mouth operation where I'm like, almost month end. Oh, you call on from Jesus to your ancestors because you have to go through.
This week.
So, hey, girl, it's rough.
It's her birthday.
It's my birthday. I'm turning 30 on Thursday.
30?
Thank you. I know.
Wow.
I know.
You're a baby, man.
Been doing
That
this.
means you've been working your own business since you were 24.
Yes.
That's
Fantastic.
phenomenal. Now, I'm going to have to end this because we are way over time. In 10 seconds, where can our viewers find you on social media?
You start.
Well, I'm on Facebook. As I said, my name is Zahida, but I'm also known as Z, so it's Z van der Voort. I'm on Twitter. My handle is The Way I See It.
Let's have people follow you on Twitter instead of your Facebook
Okay,
account.
well, no, most of the stuff that I do and say is also very much visual on both mediums.
Okay, brilliant.
What's that
Twitter handle again?
The Way I See It.
Lovely.
Yes.
Very nice.
Should I mention Facebook?
If you want people to add you on Facebook?
Oh, gosh, no. My company's name is Dumile Brand Boutique. That's our Facebook handle. Our Twitter handle is @Dumile Brands. And my personal Twitter is at Sibu Siko Shosh. And I've got Instagram. I'm on Instagram as well. I'm Forever Sibs.